Hey. Day 18, y'all. We getting into it. We may or may not be filming at night because life gets crazy and sometimes you gotta film at night. But luckily, my friends are amazing, unlike this airplane right now. Luckily, my friends got me this fantastic ring light so like y'all can still see stuff. Do I even need to say what I'm doing? Ooh, dragonflies and other pretty bugs. Maybe just one dragonfly. We're going right there. Let's do it. I don't know how to not paint this picture. I literally did a Google image search of dragonflies and most of them had green backgrounds, but because wedge 18, as opposed to wedge Antilles, is right here, which is right next to the sunflower that has a green background. So I want to do something that doesn't have a green background. And this dragonfly has some really, really vibrant purple wings. And there's really only one thing of purple, and that's the background of the tap shoes. So I'm gonna try and make this sort of dark, smoky background. Then we'll put in the twig, and then we'll put in the dragonfly. Got my 1/2-inch brush. What I'm gonna try and do with this background is that, yes, most of it is just this dark gray, but it does sort of have sort of an ombre effect into some grayish brown on the sides. I assume because of some unfocused trees behind it. So I'm gonna try and paint that. Just got like some brown, some black, and some white here. So I'm gonna make a gray first, do most of the background, and then try and fade into the brown. Let's see how that goes. Okay, that was pretty nice, I'd say. If you're wondering how I got this to blend so nicely, because that is one of the nicer blends I think I've ever done, honestly, I worked quickly and most of the paint was still wet. There's your tip of the day. While I'm still working with my brown and my white and my black, I'm gonna make the little branchy guy. He, she, they is balanced on the little twig, like you do. Because you just gotta live your life on a twig. It's the dragonfly version of living life on the edge. Obviously, I got brown and white. I'm just gonna lightly put in where I want it to be, and it sort of has a bend. It comes down here. I want to position it in such a way that the dragonfly will be covering most of the painting. Because if I make the branch the center, would you watch that video? I wouldn't. There better be some real good entertainment value other than just a branch, especially if the branch looks like this. Okay, that works for me. I'm content with that. I want to get into the dragonfly. So here's what I'm thinking. I've got good old Flatsy here. She does me good. I'm going to use Flatsy in some black paint and lightly sort of tap out the edge of the wings and the body of this dragonfly. It does sort of look like the edges of the wings and the body are catching light, in which case I would outline in the white paint. But the majority of the colors in the body are darker. I'll add white as a highlight later if I really need it. Nailed it. Now the reason I'm starting with the ones in the back is because they don't require a lot of color. Right, they're literally just black. But because I want to make sure that the body of the dragonfly is the appropriate distance from the rest of the twig. Okay, we got 2 wings. And we're done. Thanks for coming. kidding. So I'm gonna edit it out because y'all don't need to hear it, but I just sneezed 3 times in a row. I'm fine. I'm also mildly allergic to Ray's hay, and I just gave her more, so it's kind of in the air. Tickles the nosy. I have to know, because I almost never do this. But do any of you out there ever only sneeze just once? I always sneeze in pairs or in a triplet, I guess. Always, always, always. And I always have. And it had gotten to the point when I was a kid that my parents would know if I was awake because I sneezed twice. Anyone else? Just me? Okay. Okay, yeah, there's our outline. We're gonna try and squeeze the absolute last drops out of this purple. We're gonna hold on. We're gonna hold on to OG while we squeeze this out. See how much we can get. Yeah. Oh, you go, girl. We got that much. Hell yeah. That was exciting. I'm using brush 0 because I want to be a little bit more specific. I'm just filling in the wings, but only in certain spots. I don't want to cover the whole thing in just one color. Now these do have a blue quality to them. They're very reflective. We're going to have to get creative with highlights and make that happen. But that's okay. Still just want this purple base. In fact, I'm going to add blue to it now. I'm going to add a little bit. I know that I have to use that sparingly, but I have to, it's got to happen. What happens if I have this, like, okay. Nice. We may be doing some low lighting with just blue and the highlighting with pure white. So it really looks like there is light reflected on this thing. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys know what I'm saying? I feel like I say, you know what I'm saying, a lot. Cool. Let's do the other one. For my own desire to have like the right stuff going on, I'm gonna fill in those little splotches on the wings real quick. Something going on right there. Okay, with the base color down on the wings and part of the body, it's time for detail. I think this part of the body is supposed to be kind of like a dark gray color. It's a little confusing. It is different. Now those eyeballs are a dark, like brownish amber color. So I'm just gonna get some red and I'm gonna add some brown, and then we're gonna do that real quick just for like some placement and like to understand. You know how it is. Look at that. Some brown and some red. Eyeball. A lot of what I'm doing in this painting, honestly, I'm just going in and out of different colors as I notice new details. Which I think I said something similar when I was painting Huxley. As an easily distracted human being, I will work on something, then I will notice, hey, there's something else that needs to be worked on there. And then someone will be like, you didn't finish what you started. And I would be like, I finish everything I start. I just start a lot of things all at once. So this is why I shouldn't have used black, because I can't help but stay in those lines, and I just needed them as a guideline. I don't want there to be a black outline. Oh wow, that is. It's a little creepy. These itty bitty tiny freaking like hairs coming off this front bit here. I'm using that frayed technique again with very little paint on my brush to sort of try and give those microscopic hairs. Whenever you see a bug and you're like, why are you hairy? I don't need to do this right now. I'm doing it because that's my business. Seriously, go watch Tabitha Brown on TikTok. Let's start detailing the wings. Let's just start detailing the wings because I think I have a better understanding of like what the heck is going on there. I'm gonna be bouncing between highlight and low light because I can't make up my mind. So I'm gonna start with just like some white and the tiniest touch of the purple so that it's not pure white, but it's much lighter than everything else. Okay, we're talking like that, right? Lavender. I'm just gonna start. You know, that actually looks pretty nice so far. It's hard to get like the actual sort of veiny look to the wings because they are just so tiny and detailed, and I'm not actually, obviously, painting light on here, but I'm certainly trying, you know? I'm trying to make something happen. I gotta figure out what that coloring is on the neck there. It's a little bit hard to tell from this picture. I can see. Got it. I don't know about y'all, but that neck looks almost like a dark blue gray. So right in there. The one-eyed, one-horned, flat purple people here. That's what this guy looks like right now. To Andrea Can't Stay in One Freaking Spot of Painting. How are you today? You good? That's good. Trying to give this bit some texture too. And give these eyeballs a little bit of that butterfly shape. Now honestly, this might be kind of a shorter video because some of these details I'm physically unable to put, like actually physically unable to apply to this painting. It's just like this it's such a vibrant purple. It's such a vibrant color. It's like that's the reason I chose this one and not any of the others that I saw. Because the color scheme is so different from anything else going on. You know something, y'all? This is a really pretty dragonfly. It really is. You know, it's like I'm trying to think of stuff to talk about with you guys, but something about just painting is kind of nice. You don't have to think about much. I think as I've gone through this project, I've started to focus more on just enjoying the painting. I should enjoy this. If I'm not enjoying this, you guys won't enjoy it either. You know, you won't have fun. And honestly, I was really happy with yesterday's video, I think because I felt like I was watching myself again. I was having fun with the painting, but I was also totally being silly. So like there were moments where I could focus on the painting, I could focus on what I was doing. There were moments where I was cracking jokes and messing around. I want to make sure I find room for both. It's important to step back. It's important to really delve in. What I don't love this part really looks creepy. Like this kind of looks like a spy camera. I don't know if there's gonna be a dry time break. I'm sorry about that. I know that there have been others that have forgotten the dry time break. sure you were all heartbroken. I'll bring her in for the sign-off again. Let's get some highlight on this tail. As soon as I start talking about how I'm glad I'm not talking, I know what I want to talk about. I'm gonna link the video below. But do you guys know who Frank is? Like Z-E Frank. He does these videos called True Facts, and they're about different animals. And he did one about dragonflies and damselflies, which look just like dragonflies. And it's one of my favorite videos, I think, because of this one part because it's an animal, it's supposed to be like a nature video, so naturally they talk about the mating, and dragonflies mate while flying, right? Which is a feat in and of itself, but he shows footage of it, and then the female dragonfly goes to like a hole in a tree or something and deposits her eggs. I mean, I might have gotten the situation wrong, but I have the visual in my head of a dragonfly taking its tail and like stabbing the tree, and and the narration is like, she goes up to the tree and says that she's gonna put the eggs right freaking there. Oh my gosh, it's just so freaking funny because the narration is so silly and enjoyable and just wonderful because it is just that ridiculous. Oh. That's so much better. That's so much better. It's always awesome when you find like the one thing that the entire time you didn't realize was the issue, and then you do the thing that fixes the issue. It's like, just gonna keep tapping in some low lights here and there. I now have just black on Flatsy. Just black. And I'm finding little places that I want to be, I want to make them look a little more raised. So I'm looking for the high points, sort of going beneath them with my brush and being very light-handed. I don't want to use a lot of paint, but I want to use enough to give it sort of a shadow effect. Oh, that's fun. Why did I start doing that? Oh, I'm really glad I did that. I just sort of looked and I was like, what if I just started doing this and trying to make like the scales? Do you call them scales? I am not an entomologist. I am just a search for knowledgeist. You're welcome. I think we're done. I think we're done. We got into one of the middle wedges. How fun is that? Let's bring it in. The dragonfly. I really like it. I was thinking of how I could figure out a way to like make prints of each of these. It's gonna be tough because they're all such weird shapes, but I may attempt to make small individual ones of each of these, especially the dragonfly. I'm really proud of it. Oh, and we can't forget the little girl. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. Happy day 18. Holy cow. Thank you to Jolie again for the fantastic suggestion. Had a lot of fun with this. It was really nice. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a share.